We got great leadership. We have a lot of guys who, have a reset, and they're working well together. They get along really, really well off the field, and they're playing with a lot of energy and effort right now.
How's the communication now? Is that
very good. There's always a couple things that you can fix, and it's expansive right now, so you can't drill down on specific calls like you would on the game plan. So there's going to be a little more. But overall, they're working together, they're solving problems, and they're communicating really well.
How would you describe Shemar's first few days?
Yeah, good. He's got to get into football shape. The tempo got him a little bit today, so he's just got to keep working on that, keep working, and then know that we'll get him some days off and get him ready for Thursday night. So, but overall, he's physical. He's powerful at the point of attack. He plays with effort and energy, and you feel his presence on the field.
How much are you planning on playing the ones on Thursday night?
I'm going to defer to Zach on that. That's a head coach question. Whatever coach delineates for us here in the next 24 hours, we'll follow suit. But we're ready to go. We've game planned that way, and we'll go from there.
When you got here and you did your review of last season, what was your plan that you made for Jordan Battle, and how do you feel like he's grown since you got here?
Yeah, again, I think the biggest thing is he's in really good physical shape, right? So that's a starting point, right? So it allows him to play longer at a higher level. His communication is really well. He's a better tackler than he was a year ago, and I just think he has command of the defense right now. I feel him out there, and he does. He has the ability to play a lot of different positions for us, which is exciting.
Did you have a conversation with him, multiple conversations with him? Because it does feel different.
I think everybody just, once we got settled in as a staff, everybody, gave those guys an improvement plan with a couple bullet points and filmed the match, and this is what we got to get better at. And again, a lot of those are personal questions. But at least I see for him, I see it manifesting on the field.
What do you see from your corners?
Again, it was tricky today because the reps got high and we were just down a couple of guys today. So Dax, Cam, Marco. So appreciate the guys fighting through it. We got a little bit tired there at the end. But overall, just a fun group to be around. Fast group, physical group. Communicate really well. I think they bought into the physical part of it, whether it's run force, tackling, block destruction, all of those things. So we're excited about that.
With the options you have at corner, could you even keep rotating through these guys once the season starts, kind of more matchup specific?
We plan on playing a lot of guys, not just at corner, but at multiple positions. And obviously, we've increased our depth at linebacker, same thing on the D-line. So I think we plan on playing a lot of guys.
How is Cam doing injury-wise right now?
Again, I'm going to defer the injury questions to the head coach because he's meeting with medical personnel every day. But I suspect him back shortly.
Are Jenkins and Jackson progressing in year two, Jenkins and Jackson?
Really excited about them. Jenkins, I think, he's shown the ability to rush the passer. I think he's healthy. I wasn't here, but I don't think he started the year healthy last year. So he's healthy, he's quicker. He's playing with a lot of energy. He's a great guy to be around. He has natural energy and is excitable, and I really like him. And McKinley is powerful inside and, playing really well in terms of not getting moved off the ball. He's coming off blocks better. So I'm excited about their growth.
Back to playing so many players, how much can that be a big boost to you guys? A lot of teams, there's a drop-off from ones to twos, and they can't do it. They got to play their guys a bunch of snaps. How much can that be a positive?
No, it's a positive, and it's a long season, and particularly this first quarter of the season, it's going to be hot no matter where we play. So I think it's important that we develop that depth and feel confident in everybody that rolls into the game that they're going to play at a really, really high level, give us the effort that we need, and do all the little details the way we need them done.
It seems like DJ Ivy's taken a pretty big leap. I know you weren't here the last couple of years, but it looks like from the snaps and the competition against Shamar, he's taken a big leap.
I'm excited about that group. He's a competitor. He's not afraid to go head-to-head. All those guys are not afraid to go head-to-head with anybody. They're confident in themselves. I think they're all technicians, led by Coach Burks, and he has made great strides, and there's definitely roles for him in this unit.
I know you mostly watch the defense, but what stood out to you about the development you've seen from Joe from your time when you were here back in 2021 to now?
Man, he is so poised on the line of scrimmage. He doesn't do anything fast. He tries to manipulate either the cadence to see a skew of some kind, to some kind of pre-snap tell. And he has so many answers. The one thing that is underrated is just some of those balls. If you were here last night, some of those touch throws, the overs, and just incredible throws. Guys draped on them, and the ball can only be caught if it's in one spot. So, accuracy, command. He has answers, and he's just playing with a lot of poise. And I can't remember the last time we had an interception on him, and I think that's the greatest. That's the greatest compliment you can give a quarterback, because the ball will go out of bounds, or he'll take us. He'll eat it rather than give up a big play, and you got to be mentally tough to do that.
Looking at Demetrius, it seems like just pre-snap, he's communicating a lot, seems to have a control over the defense. Then looks like he's in the middle of almost every play. What have you seen out of his development early on?
He's what we thought he was, and what you can't measure, you try to hedge, right? You try to place a bet. But what you can't measure is what he's doing when he's not here, and that is studying a lot, preparing at an elite level. He's a pro's pro. He comes every day. He's the same guy. He's consistently playing at a high level. He's a big man. He's 240 pounds. He can play in the stack. He can play on the edge. He can give you some rushes. So we're excited about him.
You're figuring out the depth.
You design a scheme on paper during the offseason. What stood out to you? Just kind of see it in action here on the field.
Well, we designed it. The staff and I think we have a great contribution from so many people on the staff, and obviously identifying roles and things that players can do well, and that's our job, to put them in the best position, to be successful and to play complementary football in every aspect, every part of what that actually means, and a lot of that is. No unforced errors, attack the ball, tackle really well, and I see the guys doing all that, which I think is paramount.
What are you hoping to get out of your defense in preseason game number 1? I know we're a few days away.
Well, just that. I've been saying it. I don't really change too much. I know I'm not exciting, but attack the ball. It's really important. Give great effort when you're in there. Recognize the situations. We missed the situation today. That was disappointing. We went over it a bunch of times. We missed it. We got to learn from that. And then tackling. You don't get many. These opportunities are like gold. You don't get many opportunities to tackle. So whether it's space tackling, vice tackling, all the different techniques that you've learned, that will be tested really for the first time on Thursday night.
When you're figuring out the rotations and depth chart at the end of the season, you and your staff, how much are you taking into account performance in preseason games?
You're saying as we get ready for the season?
As you get ready for the season at the end of camp, when you look back at the preseason games, how much is performance going to matter in those games?
Yeah, I think performance is important. There's a lot of jobs that are open right now. We have some positions that are heavy. The guys are competing. It's a legitimate competition, which is important for them. It's sincere. And we want to see how it plays out. So, yeah, it's important. Guys are, look, there's all kinds of levels of players, right? You got guys that were either free agents or practice squad players. They're trying to make the roster or make the practice squad. You got the guys that have done that in the past. They're trying to make, the twos. The twos are trying to be ones. Ones are trying to solidify themselves either as the best player on our team or best player in our defense or best player in the league. So there is a progression there. And we want to give everybody the opportunity to make that journey here in the next 30 days.
The situation you missed that you referenced, was that when Joe caught you with too many guys on?
No, because I think they subbed on that. I mean, at least that's what I was told. So if they sub, we sub. But we did, unfortunately, jump off sides one time.
What has Miles Murphy shown you, and what would you like to see next?
Yeah, just keep it small, man. He's so athletic. He's long. And when he's on the edge, just he needs speed, long arm, and a counter. That's it. Speed, long arm, and a counter. And he's starting to do that better. I'll tell you, the one thing that shows up, and Jerry's done a great job with him, is he's more rugged when he's playing in the C gap. So if he's playing head up on the tight end or if he's playing a 5 technique, he's definitely more rugged, and he's playing with more ballast, which is important because he's a big man.
What's it been like to see this group draw as much as they have over the course of the week or so?
The word was what?
They've been drawing a good amount, like the defense.
Yeah.
What's it like for you to?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think they're a confident group. I don't think they don't. They got something to prove. We got something to prove. They have an edge, and we got to go out there and do it again. So I don't care who talks or does what, but at the end of the day, you are what you put on film. So if you're talking but you're running to the ball or you're diving around making plays, and then keep talking. You know what I mean? So I think it's great that we have that attitude right now, and that's an attack mindset, which is not easy to get.
Coach, how important is position versatility? You got a lot of guys on your side of the football that can play a lot of different places. How big a deal is that for a coordinator?
Yeah, it doesn't help us if we have 6 corners and none of them know how to play safety or nickel, right? Or we have 6 ends and none of them can go inside and play 3 technique or play a 5 technique in a different package. So I think we want versatility. We have multiple linebackers now that can play the edge. So it just makes us versatile without subbing, and I think that's where whether you agree or disagree or whatever your philosophy is or whatever your opinion was of Shamar, that player is rare coming out of the draft. Somebody that can come off the edge, 1 play in the B gap, 2 plays later, play in the C gap, set the edge, do multiple things. It's just rare because you generally get guys that are 255, but to get a guy 280 that can do that with that kind of power is rare, and we're excited to have him.
Some of the defensive players said you guys are using the term the Santa Clara standard. What does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, there's only one standard, right? I don't think there's anybody that, again, like I told the guys, man, I can't wait. I terrorize Starbucks because I can't wait to get here every day. I can't wait for it to open. I can't wait to drive down Columbia Parkway and work with these guys, work with this staff, and come to a place that has the culture that Zach has built and has the offensive talent that we see every day on display. Like, I can't wait to get to work every day. And so that's the standard. Like, at the end of the day, what does that mean? That means when I go home, I got to prepare. I got to do it in practice. I got to tackle well. I got to disrupt the ball well. I got to know exactly what I'm doing in situations. And that's the standard. And we're developing that culture. And we're applying it on defense right now.
What's your Starbucks order?
I'm sorry?
Why did y'all end up going with the headsets today?
Just because there's so many personnel groups and situations, it's really hard. And it was unscripted, Ben. So when it's unscripted, then, they're in 12 personnel. We're going to a certain grouping. They're in 13. They're in 11. Whatever their groupings are, we have to match and at the same time process the down and distance, get the call communicated throughout the defense. But that's why we did that, and it was a big help. We got to get used to our process on defense.
What's your Starbucks order?
Man, I'm just cold brew, black, nothing in it. That's it. I know, boring, I know.